Next to Parker's Kitchen's huge chicken tenders. Everyone else's chicken strips, well, they look like featherweights. Well, it's true.
Live from Augusta, breaking news.
Oh, breaking news this morning. 2 people were killed and 1 person is now in the hospital after a shooting at the Best Buy on Walton Way Extension.
Just after 11:30, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office identified the victims, both women, and the suspect.
That suspect is 37-year-old Hajir Talibzadeh. He's currently in stable condition at the hospital. Now, this isn't his current mugshot, but we have reached out for a new one. Deputies say they plan to get warrants for his arrest for murder, and he will be taken to the Charles B. Webster Detention Center upon release from the hospital.
We're taking you live this morning outside that Best Buy where the 2 people were killed in yesterday's shooting. Your Cameron Jacobs has more on the victims. Cameron.
Nick and Ashley, we're staying on your side this morning as the community and those who protect us share a somber message after 2 people lost their lives here yesterday afternoon. Now, this story is unfolding, and as more information comes as the days pass, but we do have the names of the 2 victims, 37-year-old Melissa Domingo and 74-year-old Elizabeth Domingo. Both of Evans, Georgia, passed away after being shot. As of right now, we do not know how many shots were fired or where exactly the victims were hit. And even though the victims both share the same last name, we're also not sure the family dynamic of the 2. To make matters worse, we were told that there was a child who was with the victims that witnessed the whole event unfold. This is what the Sheriff Eugene Brantley had to say about this. He says in part, "Our hearts go out to the child who was present during this senseless tragedy. No one should ever have to experience such trauma." He goes on to call on the community to come together to support this child and anyone else affected because, quote, "Violence is never the answer to our problems. It only leaves behind pain, grief, and broken families." Now, we do have a full team working hard back at the station, trying to get some of the answers to some of the questions that we all have. We're going to stay on your side as the story unfolds. Nick and Ashley.
All right, thank you for that live update there, Cameron. And we do know that suspect expected to be arrested once he is released from the hospital. Cameron Jacobs live there at Best Buy for us this morning.
Well, here's a look at what we can expect throughout the afternoon today. High temperatures in the low 80s for us. We're going to see that cloud cover stick around for the first half of the day, but plenty of sunshine for this afternoon. A great start to our work week, not tracking any rainfall for our Monday, and that's going to continue as we go throughout the next couple of days. So you want to take your furry friend out on a walk. Phoebe says today is a great day to do that. Again, that cloud cover will stick around for the first half of the day. We'll be in the 60s, but eventually 70s by noon and 80s for that average high temperature for us. The only thing that could possibly be a negative outside today is it's going to be a little bit windy, but again, not too bad. Those wind gusts anywhere from 20 maybe to 25 throughout the later afternoon hours. Same can be said for our Tuesday, and that's because we had a cold front that pushed through late last night, so that brings us breezier conditions. Those winds are coming from the northeast, so that's what's helping us feel even cooler than what we are typically seeing this time of year, which is right around 90. So these low 80s not looking too bad. I'll have a look, though, at what the next 7 days look like coming up.
All right, thanks for that update, Emily. Well, in North Augusta, a home was damaged by a fire yesterday evening. Public safety responded to Carolina Springs around 6:30. We've reached out to learn more details, and of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Richmond County deputies need your help finding multiple missing teens and a missing man. Deputies say 17-year-old Zoe Abden was last seen September 4th on Lake Forest Drive. They say she was last seen at 8:30 and was wearing a yellow top with black shorts. Deputies are also searching for 17-year-old Kalia Snellings. Officials say she was last seen at the same time and street as Abden. Snellings was last seen wearing a black top with white writing on it and red and black pajama pants. And then this is 30-year-old Jesse Smith. Deputies say he was last seen just after 11:30 September 4th. They say he left his home on 11th Street on foot. He was last seen wearing a black shirt, black pants, and gray shoes. If you have information on any of these three, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office.
Well, an Aiken County man is going to prison for more than 17 years after pleading guilty to producing child sex abuse material. 40-year-old Adam Sloan from Jackson was charged by the FBI after a search of his home back in 2023. That search found that child sexual abuse material found online was being made in his home during parties and sleepovers. In addition to his prison time, Sloan will serve the rest of his life under supervision once he's released. He's also ordered to pay more than $5,000 to a victim.
We're just 19 days away from the anniversary of Hurricane Helene. The storm left so many without a home. Today, we've learned some families are still trying to recover. We caught up with the Greater Augusta Long-Term Recovery Committee Vice Chair to see how they're trying to meet all of your needs. He says their goal is to keep canvassing neighborhoods that they know are struggling every day, either with housing problems or with other issues.
So we're basically a group of concerned citizens who've come together to help drive the spirit of healing and in the Greater Augusta area. A lot of what we've been hearing is a deep dissatisfaction with the insurance companies and their relationship with them, and that's one of the things that we hope to achieve is to fill that gap for a lot of our citizens and assist them with, again, either the repairs necessary to make that space safe and livable, or if it calls for a complete rebuild.
That storm may have broken buildings, but it hasn't broken the spirit of people helping out since last year.
Well, we're only a few days away from the 24th anniversary of 9/11, and every year...
After 41 drawings with no winner, 2 people won the massive Powerball jackpot over the weekend.
That's right. The players were from Missouri and Texas, sharing the win of the estimated $1.8 billion prize. And that jackpot ended its run as the second largest in U.S. lottery history, Nick.
Now, while those 2 players won the big prize, 16 in Georgia walked away with something. Officials say all were worth thousands of dollars. 4 matched 4 of the 5 numbers and the red Powerball to each win $100,000. So we're going to find out soon if any of those winners were local. I can tell you it wasn't me because I'm still here.
I didn't play.
I forgot to play. I really
we were talking about that.
I know. And then the weekend got away from me, and I forgot to draw before Saturday.
We got to hold each other accountable.
I know.
We could have been millionaires.
Next time it hits $1 billion, we're on it. I'm not messing around. Once I go get some Chick-fil-A in the morning, I'll swing by the gas station, get myself a Powerball ticket. All right, still ahead, vaccine confusion on COVID could have deadly impacts. We're going to hear what pharmacists have to say coming up.
And looking at for our forecast today, 83 is that average high temperature. A cooler start, though, to our morning. I'll have a look at what we can expect throughout the next 7 days coming up.
Water in your basement. Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Welcome back here on this day in 1974, 1 month after taking office. President Gerald R. Ford granted a full, free, and absolute pardon for former President Richard Nixon for any crimes committed during Nixon's presidency. Okay, good deal. That's what we all wanted to talk about this morning. You know what we want to talk about, Emily? Ashley, what were you going to say?
I love these little...
They're fun.
History.
They are fun.
Really
yeah.
cute. I like
Sometimes you just have more things to say about them than others.
Yes.
Today's one of those times I don't have a whole lot to say about that.
Yep.
So, Emily, weather's nice
Take it
out
away.
Yes, it is. Hey, I got a couple things to say about the weather today, so we'll go ahead and move on to that. 83 this afternoon. It's going to be partly cloudy, though, to start off our morning, but plenty of sunshine by the time we hit the afternoon. It's going to be very comfortable, great conditions for our start of our work week here for our Monday. And let's take a look at that pumpkin spice forecast. Everybody's talking about pumpkin spice now as we've officially started meteorological fall. I'm glad I got that right on the first try, but it's going to be just a little hint of fall today. Nothing too cool, but definitely cooler than average for this time of year. Thankfully, things are looking nice and dry throughout the next 7 days. So if you do have any outdoor plans, and go out and enjoy this beautiful weather, because again, we're typically sitting around 90. We're well below average for this time of year. I do want to take a look at the fall foliage right now as, again, we are getting closer to any fall foliage happening. But as of right now, little to none throughout the greater part of the United States. Once we get into the start of October, that's when things will start to change a little bit for us. But really here in November, that's when we hit peak fall foliage for us here in the CSRA. So we still got a little while to go, but things are just feeling like fall. I just wanted to check in on the fall foliage. Good news is, not tracking any tropical development over the next 7 days. We did have an invest over the weekend, but that is since weekend, and the National Hurricane Center does not have any areas of concern throughout the next 7 days. Things are looking great here for the next 7 days. We're in the low 80s for us. Till we hit Thursday, then we'll be in those upper 80s for us, right around 87, both Thursday and Friday. The weekend, not looking too bad either, but again, we're well below average for this time of year. We're typically sitting at 90, so go out and enjoy this beautiful weather.
Thanks, Emily. Atlanta pharmacists are sounding the alarm over vaccines.
That's right, they say prime.
The Augusta Rowing Club held its first ever ergathon. The event was to raise money for the club and offset costs of uniforms. The rowers got money based off how many meters they could row in 45 minutes. The club's been a staple for a few years now, and their junior club is looking to make even more of an impact.
So we would like to expand this event, get more of our juniors participating, but gradually bringing people in to allow them to earn funds for special rowing costs. That would be great.
To learn more about the Augusta Rowing Club, you can head to our website, wrdw.com.
Well, USC Aiken renamed its Student Center in honor of one of its past chancellors. Chancellor Emeritus Alexander led the university for more than 15 years, from 183 to 2000. During his tenure, he expanded the Greg Graniteville Library, led the construction of Pacers Downs, the Children's Center, and much more. He also was able to expand enrollment for undergraduates by 70%.
Dr. Alexander personifies what is the true mission of this university, that is being student-centered, student-focused university. So I think they will understand that his legacy is what the USC Aiken is today, and that is students come first at this university, and all that we do here is in support of students and their success.
And excuse me, that was from 1983 to 2000. But since retiring from USCA, Alexander serves Security Federal Bank Board of Directors and the Western South Carolina Economic Development Board of Directors.
Austin Jackson injury lawyers donated $7,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Augusta. The donation was possible through the Green Jackets Doubles for Dollars campaign and had an on-field check presentation on Friday. The Doubles for Dollars campaign takes every double hit during the Green Jacket season into charitable donations.
Well, the U.S. may have to refund tariffs if the Supreme Court...
Well, here's a look at the community calendar. What we are expecting over the next couple of days, Meet a Machine. That is this Saturday from 9 to 1 p.m. and this is at the Augusta Regional Airport. Things are not looking too bad weather-wise there, so you can get an up-close and personal look at any of those machines. That includes rescue trucks, police cars, helicopters, airplanes, and more. So things are really not looking too bad for the next upcoming couple of days. So Saturday's included with that. This morning, we can expect to see those low temperatures in the lower to middle 60s for us. So maybe a light jacket, not a bad idea, but we're going to be warming up nicely as we go throughout the day. A little bit of cloud cover to start off, but dry conditions for us. Here's a current look at the radar. Things are looking nice and dry, and like I said, that's going to continue throughout the rest of our Monday. We'll be in the 60s until 10 a.m., so if you want to take your furry friend out on a walk today, it's going to be very comfortable. This morning will be very comfortable as well. Once we get into the later afternoon, low 80s in store for us. A little bit windy out there for our afternoon as we've had that cold front that pushed through late overnight. So that's going to leave us to a little bit breezier conditions for our Monday. Wind gusts anywhere from 20 to 25 mile per hour for our Monday. And same for Tuesday. It's going to be a little bit windy out there, but check it out. Beautiful sky conditions for the next 7 days. We'll be back in those upper 80s by the end of the week, but that's still well below average for this time of year. We're typically sitting right around that 90-degree mark. So things are feeling a little bit like fall. But hey, stick with us. We have more news and weather coming up.
In schools across America, 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster. Live from Augusta. Breaking news.
Oh, breaking news this morning. 2 people were killed and 1 is now in the hospital after a shooting at the Best Buy on Watson Way Extension.
Just after 11:30, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office identified the victims, both women, and the suspect.
That suspect is 37-year-old Hajir Talibzadeh, and he is currently in stable condition at the hospital. Now, this isn't his current mugshot, but we have reached out for a new one. Deputies say that they plan to get warrants for his arrest for a murder, and he'll be taken to the Charles B. Webster Detention Center upon his release from the hospital. Now, we're taking you live this morning outside that Best Buy where 2 people were killed in yesterday's shooting. Your Cameron Jacobs has much more on the victims this morning.
Nick and Ashley, we're staying on your side this morning as the community and those who protect us share a somber message after 2 people lost their lives here yesterday afternoon. Now this story is unfolding as the days pass, but we do have the names of the 2 victims. 37-year-old Melissa Domingo and 74-year-old Elizabeth Domingo. Both of Evans, Georgia passed away after being shot. As of right now, we do not know how many shots were fired or where exactly the victims were hit. And even though the victims both share the same last name, we're also not sure the family dynamic of the 2. To make matters worse, we're told that there was a child who was with the victims that witnessed the whole event unfold. This is what the Sheriff Eugene Brantley had to say about it. To the child who was present during the senseless tragedy. No child should ever have to experience such trauma. He goes on to call on to the community to come together to support this child and anyone else affected because, quote, the violence is never the answer to our problems. It only leaves behind grief, pain, and broken families. As of right now, we have a team working very hard back at the station, trying to get some of those answers, some of the questions that we all have. We're going to stay on your side as the story unfolds.
All right, Cameron, thank you so much. And as we mentioned earlier, Talibzadeh is still in the hospital at this time, and we'll be sure to let you all know when he has been released and has been taken to jail. Thanks again, Cameron.
Well, if you have any outdoor plans today, going to be a beautiful afternoon for us. We're going to see some cloud cover for the start of the day, but things will turn mostly sunny as we get into our afternoon. 83, that average high temperature for us today, so well below average for this time of year. We're typically sitting right around that 90-degree mark, so things are feeling pretty good for our Monday. Dry conditions as well. That's going to stay true as we go throughout the day today and really throughout the next couple of days for us. Birdwatch forecast, things are looking pretty good. Sunrise at 7:07 for us, and you can see it's going to be a little bit windy as we go throughout the day today. Wind gusts could be anywhere from 15 to even 20 miles per hour, but other than that, things are really not looking too bad for the start of our week. I'll have a look at what your 7-day looks like coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. We have an update to a shooting in Edgefield County that was live streamed on Facebook. We brought you that nearly a month ago. This is video from that scene on Walnut Street and Rosa Hill Street. Now multiple people are behind bars in connection to it. LaSavion Johnson and Jordan Wright are both charged with attempted murder. Officials say they brought guns to an organized meeting to fight out a dispute. 6 others are charged with breach of peace. Officials say one of them was shot. One other suspect is still wanted for breach of peace. Officials say the shooting left 2 injured, 1 critically injured. Deputies say the shooting stemmed from an argument on social media.
Well, 2 people are dead in a murder-suicide that happened in Denmark. The Bamberg County...
More than a year later, the NTSB is closing the books on an investigation into the deadly plane crash near Daniel Field. Last May, a single-engine plane crashed just after takeoff from Daniel Field into a yard on Hillcrest Avenue at Belmont Drive. The pilot, Jason McKenzie, was killed after that crash ended in a fire. Now, a new report from the NTSB says the cause of that crash was from a sharp turn at an excessive angle with low airspeed and altitude. The report says the plane tried to return to Daniel Field, but because of the damage and the fire, the cause for that return is unknown. No distress calls were made, and McKenzie's toxicology report didn't show any signs of impairment. Following that crash, McKenzie was remembered as a hero for avoiding any more deaths or injuries on the ground.
Well, we're less than 3 weeks away from the anniversary of Hurricane Helene, and many families are still recovering. But the Greater Augusta Long-Term Recovery Committee is working to help those still in need. A group made up of nonprofits, faith groups, local leaders, and anyone else who just wants to help a neighbor in need. They work to connect families with the resources they need to get back on their feet.
We found that there's a significant amount of work that still needs to be done. The city's done a wonderful job in cleaning up as much as they possibly can. We understand limited resources, they can't get to everything, and that's one of the reasons why we exist, to be able to essentially be in partnership with the city and with our community to make sure that our citizens have livable, safe places to live.
Oh, the committee is also pushing Augusta's leaders to make sure the city is prepared for any more future weather disasters.
Yesterday was the first Childhood Cardiac Arrest Awareness Day, after Columbia County commissioners made that announcement last week.
That's right. The day was in honor of 13-year-old Monty Rouse, who went into cardiac arrest during a basketball game. That was back in 2023, and he later died.
Yesterday at Gateway Park, a balloon release was held to honor Monty. State Representative Gary Richardson was there as well to honor him on what would have been his birthday. We spoke to his grandmother about that event.
Quiet and shy and didn't like a lot of attention. Didn't want a lot of attention. Not to say he didn't like it, he didn't want it. But just knowing that he knows now that he made an impact. His death is sad, but just making an impact as far as like saving other kids' lives and saving everybody's life. Other people's life as well.
The American Heart Association was also there giving CPR demonstrations. Last year, Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill to require AEDs in all schools, and the schools must have a plan surrounding cardiac arrest and practice drills. Still ahead, after hundreds of workers were arrested by ICE at a Georgia plant.
And a look at today's high temperatures in the low 80s, well below average for this time of year. I'll have a look at what the next 7 days look like coming up.
But before we go, we're taking a live look now out at Calhoun Expressway. The time is now 6:37. We'll be right back.
Elevate your drive at Gerald Jones Lincoln. Whether you're shopping for your dream ride or need to service your current vehicle, you can count on a friendly and convenient experience every time. Find exciting offers on all your favorite new Lincoln models. We're sure to have the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Plus, with mobile service and pickup and delivery options, servicing your vehicle has never been easier. Visit Gerald Jones Lincoln to start your car buying journey today or shop online at GeraldJonesLincolnAugusta.com.